Hi Sarah, I'm Phil.
Hi Sarah, I'm Judith. Welcome.
Come on in. So this is our Unity home, high performance home, and some of the features that you see as you come in. You see the heat pump, air source heat pump mini split that provides almost all the heat for the house.
It also cools the house in the summer in those rare, very hot days when that might be welcome.
This is supposed to run to at least 13 below zero. It does occasionally get that cold, but not for long periods, and the house holds the heat, so it's very functional. You can also see our thick walls. What you can't see is what's inside them, which is compressed cellulose. We like that because it's a little more environmentally friendly than some of the other insulation possibilities like foam. So another thing you might not notice is our ventilation system. The house is very tight, and therefore it's very important in these high performance homes to have a good ventilation system. This happens to be what's called a heat recovery ventilation system. That just means that it's set up so that as the warm air exits the house, it's warming the air that is coming in from outside. Another thing you can't see is our water heater, because that's actually upstairs in the attic. That too is a heat pump hybrid water heater, meaning that it is pulling warm air out of the interior air of the house to heat the water, much more efficient than a standard electric water heater.
Phil mentioned comfort, and I want to point out that even though this house is built on a slab, the floors remain very warm, which is nice for living in it.
So we have a fairly spread out house. Down the hall here leads to the master bedroom and the cats. And because of that, or despite that, the heat pump still can provide enough heat for the house at almost all times. We do occasionally, when it's very, very cold, plug in a small space heater. So another thing we have is a smart meter. So we can see our actual production and usage. And here on the computer, I've put up the data for the full 3 years that we've actually had our solar panels on the house. And the green areas in here are the production by the solar panels, and the orange is the total utilization. So you can see that seasonally, during the spring, summer, fall, the production is higher than the utilization, and then in winter, the utilization goes up. I think one interesting point of the utilization is this black line. That's the heat pump. So as you can see, in the winter, that of course goes way up. And over the course of the 3 years, it's almost exactly 50% of our use. The other thing you can see on this over the 3 years is our total energy used is 25.6 megawatt hours. A megawatt hour is 1,000 kilowatt hours. Generated is 26.3 megawatt hours. So we are essentially net zero, 702 kilowatt hours sold.
So as we explored ways to accomplish building a very energy efficient house, we became aware of the advantages of a factory built structure, and there are a couple of those alternatives. We were drawn to Unity, which was pretty new on the scene at that point. and was very values-driven, wanting to build small, offering platforms or models that were, they hoped, affordable, and their intention is to make them more and more affordable over time, which we think is important.
Another factor for us was walkability. When we were looking for a building lot, it was very important to us to be in a location where we could in fact go from 2 cars to 1 car.